How sweet is that thing? So I had just got this as a little gift from a good friend at work, union electrician at my work. And he's a huge enthusiast. He's probably had like every one of them. Every BB gun ever made, he's got them. He's got them all. And he knows I'm kind of getting into it. And I've picked up some other stuff I've bought used. He's sold me some stuff for like half price of what it is brand new, so I jump on it. And he takes such good care of his stuff. So I didn't know anything about this. I did some research while I was at work today. So I really didn't know anything about it. So there are multiple types of pellet guns. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know what I'm talking. But there are, the variable pump where you can pump it between 1 and whatever times. The more you pump it, the more power it gets. Variable pump. There are the CO2s, the little CO2 containers that are pretty common. They've been around forever. I think they were like 8 or 12 gram or something. And that's another very common one. An example that I do not have is called Pcp Pre-Charged Pneumatic. And what that is basically a built-in tank, almost like a big CO2 cartridge, or like a little baby scuba tank. And you pump it up, and you can use an air compressor, or they even sell an old-fashioned type of bicycle pump, but it's a real high-powered one. And you could fill it with that, but it takes forever. And it's, from what I've understand, it takes so much that you end up breaking the pump because you're pumping your brains out every time. They sell air compressors, and you cannot just use your Harbor Freight shop air compressor. It has to be a special air compressor for like filling paintball tanks and scuba tanks, and they're not cheap either. So that's more for like professionals. I don't know if I'm going to go that route. I think that could get a little expensive. The compressors, you don't want a cheap compressor. Just the nature of what it does is very stressful on the equipment, so you really have to spend the money and get like $1,000 compressor. What else? Some of these come with different scopes. There'll be different models. Same rifle, but one will have like a red dot scope. One will have like a regular tube scope. Some will come with like pellet packages or whatever. This one, I don't know if it's got a scope or not. I do not think it does. I do not think it does. Glorious Amazon. The lighting in here is not that good. I have a little red dotter I could throw on there. I was going to throw it on a different one. Flip up adjustable sights. Barrel shroud. Polymer forearm. Adjustable vertical grip. Integrated Picatinny rail. Metal housing. Charging handle, so I think you can cock it just like a charging handle on a regular rifle. Safety, powered by 88 to 90 grain CO2 cartridges, which is this big thing here, and they're really not cheap. So I've never even knew about those. I didn't even know they existed. It is basically just a souped up version, a giant version of your textbook little CO2 tank, and they're not cheap. They pretty much are $10 each. So that's not going to appeal to everybody, for sure. For sure. Not everybody's going to have the extra money to be spending on those. They do last. I mean, it's not like you have to change them a lot, but I mean, still, they don't last that long. If you've got the money to drop a couple hundred at once. You can get them a little less, maybe $8 each. But for the most part, they're up from 10 to $15 each. What else? 30 round magazine. So it has a very unique little magazine that has something of a belt in there, and you have to, am I catching it? Yeah, it's sort of in frame. You have to, put each pellet in each individual loop in the belt. It's from what I've saw in videos, and it looks like it's probably not that easy to do. What else? I mean, you'll spend more time loading than shooting. Even something that loads very quick and easy, you spend more time loading. So this, I imagine you'll want to get spares and load them up. I didn't price them. I don't know how much they are. These little targets are cool. I've been wanting to check those out. I've never had one. I know some of them are really small. They're like the size of like a box of tissues. Oh boy, what else? It's heavy. That's one thing. It is very realistic in weight and size. It is heavy. Trying to think of what else. Semi-automatic. I don't recall. I don't even know how much they go for. I didn't look. I don't really know how much these cost off of Amazon. I really don't even know. I've yet to even open it. Yeah, haven't even opened it yet. I'll make a quick coffee. From what I understand, this picture is the actual true mechanism. All that is accurate in detail. And some of the videos, they were jamming up a lot. I saw some people having some issues with feeding. And the thing was jamming up a lot, but it could be them. I know my buddy says he uses oil. So it's important to keep them really well oiled. You don't want to put it, you have to oil it carefully. You can't be all willy-nilly with the oil. You could cause combustion. But yeah, a 90-gram CO2 cartridge, that's a good $8, $10, $12. You know how fast you go through that stuff. I did recently find this blue laser on Amazon. I didn't know blue ones were out there. I've seen green and red, but never blue. It doesn't have the distance like the red. I don't know if it's the color or the laser itself, but it just does not have the distance like the red. Coffee. I am completely exhausted. Yeah, 90-gram CO2 tank, 700 feet per second, which is cooking. Most of your variable pump rifles, the ones that you can pump like 10, 12 times, run about that much. I mean, it's pretty powerful for CO2. Now your PCPs, those really get cranking. And again, it's more for professionals. I don't know if I'm ready to invest in that. PCP is going to get expensive, no doubt about it. Yeah, your PCPs are going to be where you're going to start talking thousands. You easily drop $1,000 on a gun. Hatson, there's some companies, Benjamin, who else? I'm not even sure, but well, all the companies, all the players have a PCP rifle or whatever nowadays. I sort of get the feeling this one isn't for everybody, you know. This, as sweet as it is, I mean, the sweetness factor is out of this world, but I don't think this is for everybody. You know, your teenagers aren't going to be able to afford these CO2s, I don't think. Who knows? Who knows? The little ones are so much cheaper. You know, once somebody embraces the hobby, the sky's the limit. I mean, just like any hobby, you can spend as much as you want. The sky's the limit. They have 50 cals now. They literally have 50 caliber air rifles. Yeah, you can drop some coin. It can get expensive. But I need to open this. I've been dying to play with it and open it and hold it and check it out. Yeah, I should have went on Amazon and see how much this thing costs. See how much the spare little clips and belts are. Alright, am I going to be in frame? I do not want to get my ugly face in this. I've been excited. Could not wait. Can't wait to fire it. Sweet. All right. Actually does have a scope, tube scope. I did not know if it did or not. Sweetness. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sig Sauer. There's a smaller version, the MC and the MP. I honestly do not know if Sig Sauer themselves are making this or if some other company's making this for them. Like Gammo or Crossman, you know. It's a pretty healthy book. It's a good size user's manual. My man, he takes such good care of this stuff. It looks like it's brand new. Like everything from him, he does take incredibly good care of his stuff. And I wish I could say that, but I certainly cannot. Dang, it's heavy. I'll give it that. It is heavy. It's sweet. It is sweet. Damn. Thank you, Dave. Flip up sight. Okay, that's pretty cool. It is. It's heavy. Oh, those are sweet. So, flip up sights. Hopefully I'm in frame. These are adjustable. These days, a lot of your air rifles do not come with sights. It's a bummer. At least this has it. These are decent. These are decent. They're adjustable. This is a full-size rail. You could put a lot of accessories on here. Flashlights and lasers. Absolutely. So, knowing him is probably charged and ready to go. This must be the magazine release. This is probably where the tank goes. Yep, so there's the tank. It looks pretty cool even like that. Pre-filled CO2 somewhere, but yeah, not cheap. 90 grammer, $10 each. So it's gonna get expensive shooting this, for sure. I don't have any idea how long these last. From what I've read online, you want to not over tighten this. You'll want to have a tendency with CO2 to crank the ever-loving crap out of it. It's just a natural, because it's like losing air as you're tightening it, so you end up snap case tightening it. And a very common thing to have happen with these is to strip the threads out or even crack it. So don't over tighten this. It's a common problem I saw, so I thought I'd pass that along. Okay, safety. Cocking handle to cock it. And what else? A lot of this does non-functioning, like the bolt assist and the ejection port not functioning. There's a dual ambidextrous safety. It's on both sides. That's kind of nice. I don't see that too often. Ambidextrous safety. This is adjustable. This forearm. 700 feet per second. And this will not, I could tell, I bet you this, a lot of people get into pellet gunning and BB gunning because they're so accurate. And you could become like a tack driver. You'll be putting shots to the same hole. I don't think this one's really that accurate. But who knows? Who knows? Who am I to say? I haven't even shot it yet. Okay, so this is this crazy clip that I don't even know how to open. Okay, and here's the little belt. And there's a whole procedure for loading this, and there's even a special tool to make sure these are seated properly. And Dave's got them oiled up and loaded up. I guess I'll take it out. There is oil. He's got this fairly well oiled. Interesting. How interesting. So yeah, it's greasy. You can get a little dirty. Yeah. And you can tell just by looking at this is going to be no fun at all loading this over and over and over again. You'll want to probably get a couple. I don't know if they make speed loaders for this or not. Something tells me they don't. So you're going to spend some time loading, and you're going to have to mind how you do it. It's fairly specific, and they have to be in there just right. And this has to go in there just right. It's a really strange little setup. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. Yeah. God, I hope I'm not catching a cold. Yeah. Yep, that is it. The SIG MCX Advanced Sport Pellet Rifle. Naturally, I'll get some videos of this thing in action. It's fairly well made. It feels solid. It feels healthy. Pretty sweet. Pretty cool. Yeah. I'll throw a scope on there. Get some tools. Let's see if the scope's any good, if it's clear, if it's junk. Burris. Okay. I'm surprised they don't advertise or put that on the box. This is a Burris scope, and Burris scopes are pretty good scopes. Unless that's just the caps. You know what? That could be just the lens caps that are Burris. That does not look like the Burris symbol. I think it's a Gamma symbol or something, but I don't know. I'll maybe have to edit that into the comments section or in the description. I don't know. This is not, I don't think this is a Burris scope. This is a Burris lens cap. I got fooled. Sorry, folks. I boned you. I got excited because Burris makes really good scopes. But my man hooked me up with some lens covers. And even those are probably expensive lens covers. But I got excited. Thought it was a real high-end scope. But it's not. You can just tell. You can just tell it's not. I'm going to get this in my stand and take it out to my mounting area and get the scope mounted. I have to do some scope mounting videos. The site's really cool, so it's got it. You can flip it from a high to a low, like yardage wise. You can adjust it left to right. Looks like you don't need a tool. No, you don't need a tool. Okay. Yeah, it's got real nice little clicks, so you can 3 clicks to the right. Anyway, I'm sure somebody out there was hot to trot for this. It's a pretty sweet, badass little toy. And not knowing that those little cartridges are $10 each, that you'll be blowing $30 in a sesh. $30 a session shooting that thing. But anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.